Hi, and welcome to part 4 of the world building series for WalkieRoleplay.com. I am Revision, and I will be basically talking about religion in this session. Religion is something that fascinates us. Even the non-religious amongst us are normally sort of interested. So when you're creating your world's religion, you're going to want your gods or deities, if you have them. Some religions are just a belief system. Either way, you're going to want that belief system. You're going to want your tenets of faith, and no, I have no idea if I spelled that right. So, and you're going to want your political impact, which is what the what the religion will have on your world, in the world of politics, any holy wars and holy magic. So, gods and deities, you're going to want to try to keep them a little balanced. You may have one over god, but you're going to have, if you have a pantheon, you want to keep your gods each doing like a specific set of functions. You may have demigods that function over, that reign over the lower or smaller aspects of life. And you may even have an ancestral veneration system where families pray to an ancestor or spirit animal or something like that in lieu of a major god. Shrines in most old religious households, when it comes to ancient Egypt and a lot of the other old cultures, were actually to a special patron of the family. You're also going to want a belief system. This is things like your code of ethics, the history of your religion's lore. So basically like Moses, Jesus, all that stuff. In the Christian religion, you're going to have whatever your holy texts are. And it can be lore that is drawn from actual history, or it can be just something that was handed down from the gods, or it can be just what people believe. Now, earlier I said that atheists are sort of clumped into religion when it comes to world building, and that's because they believe there are no gods, which is something that's not technically provable. So they have a belief system. It's just highly scientific, and you can draw belief systems off of real things. They just have to have something that's not completely explained. Now, an argument can be made for techno-religions where there's definitely a god there, or magical religions where there's definitely a god interacting, or a goddess, or something. These are still religions, even though they have everything laid out for you and you know it's all real. They're still a belief system. You don't have to believe in something that's not provable. It just happens more often than not. Your tenets of faith are how you're supposed to hold yourself and conduct yourself. I mentioned your code of ethics a little bit ago, and it's part of your belief system, but it's also part of your faith. How you conduct yourself, how you treat others, how you act toward the world in general, how you conduct your prayers, whether you go to church. All of this is your tenets of your faith. These may be, like I mentioned in the beliefs, these may be holy laws. You're also going to want to look at the political impact of your religion. If you are in a theocracy, your religion is the politic. If you're in any other system, it's going to interact with it one way or another unless it's completely secluded and by itself, in which case you're basically in a theocracy yet again. Now, one thing that tends to happen with religions is holy wars. People don't like being told they're wrong. And if someone's going to tell them they're wrong or make any indication that they might be wrong, there's often a conflict that leads to war. I mentioned this is one of our top 3 causes of wars, is religion. So you're going to see holy wars. If you don't, you're probably pretty lucky. And finally, we want to look at holy magic. Holy magic generally is magic given by the gods. As such, it might not function the same as your other types of magic on your world. And even the most magic-lacking modern system, this can still be considered to be things like prayers and will magic. In science fiction, you may have holy magic that is actually technology that is just available to the priesthood. In fantasy, you're going to have holy magic that probably runs by completely different laws than the regular magic, that does different things, and that can make a great difference in things like healing or raising the dead. So you're going to want to consider that when you're making the religion for your world. You're also going to want to be sure that you tie it into your world really, really well. You need to know if it's a hobby for most people, or if everyone's really devout, or if it's a mixture. You may have a group that just goes on religious holidays to their temple. You may have a group that is there every day doing charity work. There are going to be so many different people doing different things that unless you have a very cookie-cutter world, you're going to have a lot of different ways to worship the same gods. So keep that in mind when you make your religion on your world. And that is it for now. I hope these videos have been educational. There may be more in the future depending on how these are received, so let me know what you think.